I saw a video attached to an email he sent her before we got together. I don't know how to begin to describe it. I turned it off because it was really effed up. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, I, a 23-year-old male, found a video of my girlfriend. How do I approach her? And guys, this is about a guy. He's been with his girlfriend for like 6 months. He describes his girlfriend as being very shy and reserved and sweet and all that. Sweet and innocent, essentially. But you're going to see here, he finds out that she is not so innocent. One day that she is out and her laptop is open, he decides to do a little recon. Looks in her computer and sees an old email from her with her old ex-boyfriend. And an email that he sent her before they got together. And attached to it was a video. So, of course, he has to look. And in that video, she and the ex were doing some interesting activities. One of which it would fall into the S&M category, where she, this sweet and innocent reserved girlfriend, was tied up. And he was correcting her, if you will, with certain toys and things, amongst many other things. And he's shocked because he can't believe that this is his girlfriend. So now the guy is wondering how to handle this, and you're going to see how he approaches her in the whole 9 yards. So I'm doing this story, guys, aside from the entertainment factor, to show you, you just never know about someone who you're with. And of course, he's wondering, how come she doesn't want to do that stuff with me, which she'll address in her girly way, which leaves him confused even more. And I'll address it from the perspective of a guy, and I can tell him exactly what's going on there. So it's very interesting because, again, you just never know about people. It's always the quiet ones that are the craziest. So, starting off, he says, I've been dating my girlfriend for 6 months now, and it's been going great. They all start that way. She's the perfect combination of sweet and smart. The only thing that's given me a bit of pause is that she's somewhat reserved in bed. Well, you're in for a surprise, brother. But it hasn't been a big deal to me, and I chalked up to inexperience. She's been in a relationship since she was 19 with a guy she grew up with. She lost her virginity to him. Her family and his family are neighbors, and she said they've always been close because of that, even though he's 6 years older. Anyway, this weekend she ran out to grab a bunch of things to bring back to her place, and she left her laptop open. I should have let sleeping dogs lie, but I saw an email from her ex. I didn't realize they'd been emailing, although I knew they talked once in a while because they were supposedly still friends. Well, I would take issue with that. I, knowing what I know nowadays, would not be having a girlfriend, buddies with their ex. A lot of people could label me a lot of things, but I've seen a lot of problems arise because of that. But it seems so that nothing's going on. But in my opinion, which you'll see later, she still carries a torch for this guy. Anyway, it was relatively inane stuff, nothing flirtatious, but the email chain went on, and I saw a video attached to an email he sent to her before we got together. Before they got together. So unlike a lot of the stories I go over that has these videos and stuff during the relationship, this was before. Okay. I didn't even know how to begin to describe it. I turned it off because it was really effed up. She was tied up in it, and he whips her and basically grapes her as she sobs. On one hand, I can't imagine hurting someone like this, and I want to confront him. On the other hand, her email back to him on the email chain is not a horrified reaction. She almost seems to be egging him on. I don't know whether this was a one-time thing or if he was abusing her or they had some sort of weird S&M thing going on. Although I can't fathom how anyone can find this appealing. Should I confront her? What should I say? Or should I ignore all of this? So this guy obviously isn't into that lifestyle, so he doesn't know anything about it. And to him, it's really effed up, as it is for a lot of people. But to her and that dude, that's something they enjoy. And so he stumbled upon this, and remember, this is his sweet, shy, reserved girlfriend that he sees her in this video tied up, getting corrected, if you will, amongst many other things, and he's completely shocked by this. There are a lot of people out there that are into a lot of things that would completely shock people, and he doesn't know what to do. And because, again, this is his girlfriend, and he's probably thinking, how come she hasn't told me about this? Why aren't we doing this type of thing? Even though he's obviously turned off. So, now he confronts her and finds out what's going on. He says, as an update, we talked a lot last night. I read all the comments and decided to just straight up tell her what I did. First, because I really didn't want to lay a finger on her until I knew what the hell the video was about. And second, because I wanted to apologize. As someone mentioned, I done effed up. She was pretty upset by the snooping. I did apologize profusely and assured her that it won't happen again. And I straight up asked her if her ex was abusive. She said to me that that wasn't the case at all. It was 110% consensual. And she trusted him with her life, her exact words. So let's remember something here. This was the dude, sounds like her first serious boyfriend who she lost her virginity to. Okay? To a lot of gals, that guy they're never going to forget. Okay, they will when they're 95 years old and they have no idea what they had for lunch because their short-term memory has gone to shit. They remember that first guy that they were in love with, what they thought they were in love with, and lost their virginity to and all that. So she has a very special bond with this dude, and he's older. That's another thing. She said that he's always been into the idea of coercion, the whole damsel in distress scenario. She said that she never mentioned it to anyone and didn't know why she felt like that until she had too much of a drink at a holiday gathering and somehow ended up telling her ex. Apparently, he totally understood her and had been harboring feelings of doing that to her, and they began sleeping together, and it basically turned into what I saw in the video. I asked if that was the extent of what they did, and she said that sometimes it was much worse. And sometimes it was just regular sex, but she was always in the submissive role. So again, the quiet, reserved type, a lot of them, a lot of gals, guys, for those you aren't aware of this, like to be taken, if you will, in the sack. They want the guy to lead and take the role. And there's degrees to this, okay, which I'm sure many of you are aware. And with her and gals like that, it's to a whole new level. But here's the deal. They have to see the guy in a certain way to allow that stuff to go on. So for her ex, the guy was 6 years older, took her virginity. She saw him as that very dominant masculine role. Therefore, she could submit and do all these things. But you're going to see with this guy, she doesn't see him that way. She assured me that he was always extremely careful to go over everything, but that ultimately she had the power to stop whatever was happening. Essentially, what some of what you guys mentioned here. If this guy doesn't get it, he can start Googling some things. I'm sure he can learn real quick about that lifestyle. She admitted that she felt awkward having you-know-what with me because she wasn't used to thinking during sex. She said the reason she liked what she liked was because she didn't have to do that. She felt just free to enjoy the moment. I asked if she was into the pain, and she said it definitely gave her an adrenaline rush, but ultimately it was something her ex liked more, so she went along with it because she liked testing her own limits in a safe space. Safe space. In other words, she trusted him completely. She trusted his masculine side, his masculine core. He was take charge, all that. Therefore, she could completely let go and let him take charge. And right here, said she felt awkward with sex with him because she obviously doesn't see this guy in the same way. End of story. I asked her if she wanted to incorporate some of this into our relationship and said she needed time to think things over, but at the moment, she didn't trust me. There you go. She doesn't see this guy in the same way. Ouch, he says. Yeah, ouch. I asked if she planned on telling me what she liked, and she said it was very personal and she didn't know if this was something I would enjoy. Again, she doesn't see it that way. She may like this guy. He may be good relationship material, but she doesn't have that connection like she did with the other dude. I apologized again to her. Well, maybe that's part of the problem. He's an apologizing type. But ultimately, I don't know where we will go from here. I'm now almost certain she has deep feelings for her ex. They broke up because he moved across the pond for work, but I'm guessing that by the way, he keeps tabs on her. It's not over. I didn't want to ask her outright, but I got a pretty good hunch. Pretty effed up all around. I haven't heard from her at all today, and I'm still trying to process all this for myself. But anyway, thanks everyone for the advice. So I guarantee you she still carries a torch for him. And he said flat out the only reason they broke up is because the guy moved. Sounds like for work. So probably he'll be back one day. And she's probably hoping for that. This guy may be the rebound relationship, something to keep her occupied. And who knows. But this is exactly why I said at the beginning, I wouldn't want a girlfriend being buddies with their ex. They're an ex for a reason. And if this guy, they broke up because he moved away for work, or he ended it with her, usually the gals will carry a torch for that particular reason. But Doesn't sound like to me these two are compatible, because she obviously wants a strong alpha guy. This ain't it. And she obviously is into that lifestyle. And she's going to be just, it doesn't go away. Whatever people are into doesn't go away. But they can't obviously express themselves in that fashion with certain people. So she's going to need a different type of guy. So for this guy, if she's obviously not into that thing and he feels like she's holding back because she's not into him, it's not going to go too far in that relationship, and this guy pretty much, they're toast. They'll break up. But I just don't see it going anywhere beyond that, because she obviously doesn't see him that way. But anyhow, guys, that'll be an interesting one to go over here, because you just never know about people. Look at the shock he got. Look what he got for sticking his nose. I mean, it seemed like, unlike a lot of the other stories, there wasn't any suspicious behavior to cause him to not trust her. But then again, one could argue if he was looking at her laptop, then maybe it was. Who knows? But anyhow, maybe I'm just being a little naive today. Who knows? Even I can have an off day. But anyhow, you just never know about people, and look what he discovered. Everybody has a freak side. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you think, guys, what the deal is with that guy and the girl. Where do you think that will go? Let me know if you've ever known anybody that you discovered in a relationship that was definitely into some freaky stuff that completely floored you. Because believe me, in my life, I've definitely have been in situations like that where I was shocked. So you just never know about people. And also, guys, if you come across a really good story like me to share on this channel, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just make sure that it's something that's related to this channel. Or if you have something in your personal life, some crazy story that you went through that would definitely work for this channel, email it to me and I'll go over it. I get a lot of emails all the time between both my channels, so just bear with me and I'll get to it eventually. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.